Yo, fantasy community, how y'all doing? It's your boy Michael, host of Proper Things, the FPL show brought to you by the TT FPL Pro-League. And this week, ladies and gents, we almost didn't have an episode. Because what was Kyle Walker thinking at the end of that game versus Sheffield United? Well, I know Kyle, that is one of your boyhood clubs, but why did you have to backheel the ball? Causing phone to come on, I lost my clean sheet, I lost my Udugi points. And it was just failure after failure. So Kyle, you didn't have to brong the thing so badly, yeah, but we move. And as usual, we have the previews, the reviews, the proper things segments with all the picks you all like. A little hot take today, wildcard, or is it too early? The race for the 10K, it's heating up, and we reveal the manager of the month. So stay locked in, and let's do the thing together. So let's kick things off with the review of last week's games. Well, the snake was stinging Friday afternoon as Chelsea finally got their first win with a nice 3-0 win. Sterling with 19 points, Gusto with 14, and the owners was nasty out there. Chilwell, he had to learn to shoot, but Chelsea again with the 3-0 win. Next, Spurs versus Bournemouth. Maddison was dealing, and Richarlison was stealing. Well, the heart of all his fantasy owners, as our next poor performance ended with a goose egg. Spurs, though, came away with the win 2-0. Next, Arsenal fans look away as Arteta did a mad thing again with the backline, 2-2 at Fulham. Not good things coming out from the Gunners side of things right now. Next, Bueno blanked. Brentford drew 1-1. Crystal Palace, Eze yet to get off the mark. Hopefully, game week 4 is his week. Next, Wolves beat Everton 1-0. Everton yet to score. Saw with a masterclass. Woo! What a game. Manchester United coming back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Bruno owners were in glee like they were back in the show on Fox back in the day. Rachel, feed the kids. Rashford returning as well. 3-2 again to United and the Red Devils. West Ham showed up and took the Seagulls to school with a 3-1 victory. I know a lot of people will be eyeing up West Ham players this week as they play Luton on the Friday night. Bowen, Antonio, what a performance. Then we moved on to Aston Villa beating Burnley 3-1. Diaby continues his hot spell. And Watkins, another assist. Next we had City versus Sheffield. Again, Kyle Walker. Why had to go and brong the cook? 2-1, Rodri finding the winner late. Haaland missing a penalty, but scoring his mandatory goal. Next week, they go against Fulham. And finally, Darwin Núñez. Spotlight on you this week. Came off the bench with only 10 men. Liverpool shocked Castle away from home 2-1. Liverpool fans at halftime saying they got robbed VVD. Shouldn't be a red, should be a red. We don't know. May get extra games for cussing the referee. You know, abusive language to the refs is never a good sign from your club captain, but 3 points nonetheless. Liverpool again giving us the talking points. So that was a quick recap of this week's results. And boy, oh boy, was it not a great week for my fantasy team. But we move and we look forward now to game week 4. Now let's take a look at game week 4 schedule. Firstly, we have Luton versus West Ham. I predict a comfortable victory for West Ham, 3-0. More on this game later in the proper thing segment. Next, we have Everton versus Sheffield, 1-1. No winner in this one from me. I predict Brentford to get the better of Bournemouth in a close battle, 2-1. Next, I have Potts, Cocklu ball, styling and profiling like the nature boy Ric Flair, on their way to a 3-0 victory versus Burnley. Chelsea make it back-to-back wins. 2-0 versus Nottingham Forest. I think the Iwoni streak snaps this weekend. Man City versus Fulham. The worst defense for the XG guys out there versus the champs. On the current champs, 3-0 to City. No backheel from Kyle Walker this week. Newcastle get the better of the Seagulls 2-1 in a highly contested affair. Must-see TV on the Saturday. Crystal Palace get the better of Wolves 2-1 as they return this weekend. Liverpool, Aston Villa battle to a nasty 2-2 draw, I believe, at Anfield. I don't like the songs of what I hear from Liverpool backline, so I think the Villains could steal a point here. And finally, I know the Arsenal fans will not like this, but I predict the Red Devils to come away with the victory at the Emirates 2-1. One goal from my boy Marcus Feedy Kid Rashford. You know, so those were the preview of and the predictions from your boy. Hope I don't goat my boy City this weekend. Now we move on to the most anticipated segment in the show, the Proper Thing segment. This is where we tell you what to do, what you should not do, and what you think you should do in the coming weeks. Well, it was a mixed bag for your boy last week with the predictions, and it was a mixed bag. I mean, it could have been better if, again, we speak on the back heel for the third time in this video because, ladies and gents, are really upset about it. If I tell you I'm not upset, I'll be lying. I'm vexed. Because those are the kind of things that cost men 10K now. And in these times, you know you're happy for every dollar. And that is 10K worth of dollars now. Or 10K bobbies in the house there now. It was a mixed bag. So last week now in the Proper Thing segment, these are the picks you should have in your team, no matter what. These are the guys that will be performing for you week in and week out. We start off with Chilwell last week was our pick, 6 points return. And boy, if that boy did only decide to shoot, you never know. It could have been 15 or talking here, greasy on the air for everybody, you know. Except Gusto huffed them with the 14, Chilwell with 6, and manager is wondering now if they should make a lateral move from Chilwell to Gusto and pocket the money. But Reece James' return is on the horizon for 2 games before he inevitably goes back down, so we should chill on that right now. So this week's Proper Things defender is Gusto at 4.1. I think he's a bargain for the next 2 games especially. Nottingham Forest this week. Maybe we get news on James's return, but I believe he will start the next 2, and it's great value for money at 4.1. So Gusto, your Proper Things defender pick. Next, we move to midfield. Last week, we struck out with Mbueno, who only delivered 2 points, but this week, I have a sure thing, as sure things could go in Madison at 7.6 at the time of recording. Could be 7.7 the time you watch this video. So Madison, a prime fantasy game this week for his owners versus Burnley. Proper Things midfield pick this week. And for the the 4th week running now, ladies and gentlemen, it's becoming a habit. Erling Haaland, your forward, your striker, Proper Things pick. It's the Norwegian robot versus the worst defense XGI-wise this weekend. Should be a captain again this week. I know he only delivered 4 points last week, but 1 penalty away from delivering at least 11. So that would have been 22 for the captainers. I know we're salty right now and we're wondering if there is a virus going around in the robot, but he should be back to his prime goal scoring form this weekend. So Erling Haaland will be the Proper Thing striker pick for this week. Next, we move on to the needle movers for game week 4. And this week we have a special version of needle movers. Because remember when I told you all we like to take shots here on Proper Things? Well, we have a prime fantasy matchup on the Friday. First game of the week, West Ham at Luton. And I have 3 picks from West Ham here off the bat for you all. So if you all want to take a shot, these are the 3 shots from West Ham. I have Agued, your needle mover defender this week at 4.5. I mean, I expect West Ham to get a clean sheet, and Agued has shown his aerial prowess from set pieces, especially corners, and he could be 1-for-1 versus Luton. So Agued is definitely one to keep your eye on. And if I had to bring on 1 player this week, it will be my needle mover midfielder pick for this week in one Gerard Bowen. I mean, I just have a tingling feeling, my spidey senses, as they should say, is just going off on this guy right now. It's a good feeling at the time of recording. I feel like this could be the lotto numbers right now for this upcoming week. So Jared Bowen will be my needle mover midfielder for this week. But I also have a premium option, and everyone's saying that this guy is not his old self. He playing wide too frequently this season. But if you're not feeling the West Ham game this week, or you want to take 2 transfers or 2 swings because you have 2 free transfers, well, I believe this could be the week Heung-min Son returns for his owners, As not because I have Son in my team currently, but I really believe Son versus Burnley, we could be on for some points. So Bowen would be my first choice, needle movers midfielder pick. But if you want to take 2 swings, because you have 2 free transfers, Son will also be in the needle movers for game week 4. And finally, the needle mover forward for this week is the one and only Michail Antonio. Yes, another West Ham player. But as you know, the forwards are very thin this year in FPL. And Antonio has shown that he is feeling to play these days, as they should say, and is in prime form. So my needle mover forward versus Luton City is West Ham's Michail Antonio. Next, we move on to the spilt milk category. These are the picks that you should not be in your team right now or going forward because they smell a little funky. So to kick things off with the spilt milk category this week, we have our spilt milk defender pick, which is the one, the only Andrew Robertson, or Robbo as he's affectionately called by Liverpool faithful, coming in at 6.5 currently. And with Van Dijk's suspension, Konate's annual injury, we have Joel Matip and Gomez. Well, Joe Gomez projected to start at centre-back for Liverpool this upcoming week, and they play a high-powered Aston Villa attack. So it's not a great fixture and not the defensive pairing you want to see against that team. Robertson also has not really shown his attacking prowess from previous seasons. So right now, spilt milk pick, defender pick for game week 4, Andrew Robertson. Next, we move on to the spilt milk midfielder pick. And I know this one's going to be hotly contested by a certain fan base, but Gabriel Martinelli is the spilt milk midfielder pick. And I don't know what Arteta is trying to do this season with Thomas Partey at right back and trying to fit in Havertz and all those other guys, but Martinelli to me seems to be playing a different role this season. Maybe it changes after the international break when Gabriel Jesus is up to speed. But right now, the boy just seems to not be playing his natural game of cutting in and getting those shots off at a regular clip. So Martinelli is my spilt milk pick for this week, as I feel there are a lot more better options. Jared Bowen, Son, Foden, and all those guys. Remember the needle movers. And of course, Madison, the proper things pick. And finally, the spilt milk forward pick for game week 4. Well, we have 2 candidates here in Danny Welbeck and Cody Gakpo. Firstly, Welbeck. Boy, oh boy, should this boy have already hauled and have multiple returns in the forward position, as Brighton dominated their opponents for the first 2 weeks. Welbeck dropped a little deeper last week to accommodate Ferguson, but the boy just does not seem to want to return this season. So with the options that Brighton have and a not so prime game this week, spilt milk for Welbeck and Cody Gakpo. With all the problems in Liverpool, I know he was on this list earlier in the season, but I have to remind owners that Cody Gakpo does not seem to be playing at the number 9 position. And a Darwin Núñez sighting. Finally, number 9 hunting Darwizi. Timbo's back with 2 goals this week, 2 well-taken goals, I should say, as well. Will be in Jurgen Klopp's thinking next week and going forward. So not good signs for the Cody Gakpo owners, and you should definitely be leaving that train right now for another forward. So those were your spilt milk picks for game week 4. And finally, we have the wondering picks for game week 4. And we kick things off with a fantasy monster from last season. And boy, oh boy, do fantasy managers who played last year know what this boy is about. He returned bonus points at a premium clip last season, and he was all about double figure hauls and high single figure hauls. And what? Newcastle had like a 900-minute plus run of clean sheets in the Premier League. Without further ado, the wondering pick defender for game week 4 is the one, the only Kieran Trippier. Well, I know game week 4, it's not really a fantasy friendly game for the Toons as they play Brighton, and Brighton is known for scoring goals. But if you look at the upcoming schedule for Newcastle, those are some premium games for any defender pick, and Kieran Trippier has proven that he is again a bonus point magnet. Occasionally whips in the corners and free kick goals for fantasy owners. So Kieran Trippier should be in your thinking going forward. Not necessarily a move for this week, but definitely moving forward. And I stand by this pick. So Kieran Trippier, wondering pick, game week 4. Next, we have a guy who scored on his debut and he scored in game week 3. Our wondering pick midfielder is the one, the only Diaby. Again, not a premium or a fancied game versus Liverpool. Or then again, maybe with the defensive problems the Reds have this week, he could also return with a haul. But I would like to give him one more week before I actually make the move. Diaby, your wondering pick, midfielder pick for game week 4. And finally, Arsenal fans, you finally have something to cheer about here, as I have a player on my radar. And I will definitely be scouting him should he get some minutes versus Manchester United this week. Wondering pick forward for this week, the one, the only Gabriel Jesus, coming in at 7.9. And this guy will divide opinion as Ready Eddie seems to be delivering for the Gunners at the current moment. But we know what Gabriel Jesus is about, holding up the ball, and fits into Arteta's system perfectly. He might not be a goal magnet, but he seems to always be keeping the points ticking over, whether it's with an assist or goal and a little bonus points here and there. And with the fragile market that is the forward market in FPL, it's Haaland and whoever you think going to get your points right now. Nico Jackson is the toast of the tongue, and Alvarez, and of course Manil mover pick Antonio for this upcoming game week. But Gabriel Jesus is one that I would require a little more scouting, and maybe could be the permanent partner to Haaland going forward. So Gabi Jesus, your wondering forward pick for game week 4. And that was the picks. Those were the picks for the Proper Things segment this week. Hopefully it works out. And next week, we will see how the boy does. Although next week, we don't have any games. So we'll still be out here to give you all the content. And don't forget to go down in the comment section and call out your boy if you feel he doing a mad thing or the pick's not picking right now, as they just say, because I could take it. So what that again was your Proper Thing segment for game week 4. Now we have our hot take segment where we discuss one hot take every week. And this week's hot take, stick or twist, wildcard season, or is it too early? Well, my take on this is there's no right or wrong way to play FPL. There's a plethora of ways to play the game, whether you're a defensive player, aggressive player, you like the eye test, fixtures, or you're XG cruncher or beast out there with the stats. I always go by this mantra: you can't win FPL in game week 1, but you sure could lose it. And for me, a wildcard should be used early if you just get it wrong with your template, whether you're playing out of phase with a 3-4-3 or you're playing in phase with a 3-5-2 and it just didn't work out and you need to do something to refresh your team. Because if you wait too long to freshen things up, you might say, boy, this season is a write-off and that's the end of it. And you're not doing like Mahendra Singh Dhoni always say in cricket, you carry the game deep. You know, it's okay to be 40 points down. It's okay to be 50 points down. But it's not okay to be 60, 70, 80 points down at the end of game week 3 and then saying, you know what, I could rally through with this team till the international break and then come back for them. Because if you get another 20 on that 50 or 40, it now becomes a daunting task. So my take on the wildcard is, if you feel that your team needs to make 3 or 4 moves, i.e. a minus 12, in order to stay in the fight, I would definitely recommend taking a wildcard. I would also recommend taking a wildcard if you're playing out of phase, which means you're going against the template, i.e. this season you're playing a 3-4-3 and it's not working out, and you want to play in phase, which is with the template owners, and you want to switch to the 3-5-2 and it's taking a minus 8 or 12 to do that, to get the players you would like, I would also recommend taking a wildcard. Again, there is no right or wrong way to play FPL. This is just my take. So I hope this helps the guys who are thinking, and ladies that are thinking about playing the wildcard this week. And hopefully it turns out better than the one that I took last week. So good luck to all the wildcard users this week. I'm rooting for you all. And finally now, we have the most talked about segment this week, because I see the group chat going wild and my chat going wild with men talking greasy how they passed me this week. It's the one and only race for the 10K. And ladies and gentlemen, right now the action in the TT FPL Pro-League, it's hot. The group chat is going crazy. It's a total mad scene in there right now. As a dark horse in one David Coyless came out from nowhere to steal the inaugural Manager of the Month award for August 2023 and seal his way to the boat ride on Saturday, September 2nd, Juxi 2. So my boy David Coyless will be on Juxi 2, and up to now the pack in the TT FPL Pro League is shocked, because David came from midfield or from left field or wherever he came from and just stole the show. So congratulations again to David Coyless and Coyless FC on a brilliant Game Week 3 play and the inaugural Match of the Month award. So congratulations, David. And we will see who David invites to the Juxi 2 with his additional tickets. He may have to give it to, I won't spoil the surprise. Let me just look at David's team first. And we can see that he had Edison here in goal. He had Chilwell. He had the proper things needle mover picking the boy Udugi with the 12-point haul, and Estupinian, the fantasy staple in defense. He had Starboy Saka. A nice return from Bruno, and the man who I believe David should be calling up to give him the +1 for the Juxi 2, and Raheem, the Dream Sterling, or the Snake, as the Liverpool fans affectionately call him still, with a 19-point haul. He had Matoma and Martinelli to round out the midfield, as well as Watkins and Captain Erling Haaland in his forward line. For a 76-point Game Week 3 and a 209 point in the month of August. So congratulations again, David, and he will be going on Juxi 2 this weekend, and the Match of the Month trophy is his. So congratulations. In second place, we have Game of Stones by Karen Richards. I know Karen will be feeling some type of way about how the Game Week ended and how the August table shaped up, as he was last week's leader, but the FPL could be unforgiving, and 206 points was a big score, but it narrowly missed out on top honors for the month. And FPL Mako by Mason Moore rounds out the top 3. So I've seen some big scores here in 200 plus from the leader and silver and bronze medalist so far. In fourth, I'm seeing a group chat favorite in Andre Roberts and Ewick 12 in fourth position with 198 points, a 47-point game week. And Judah Simmons and Strand FC with a 60-point and 196 performance in August, rounding out the top 5. We have White Rice Party, 868 FPL, Pelican Bay, Undisputed FC, and Brandon World rounding out the top 10. So there is an 18-point gap between first and 10 right now. So congratulations to all the managers thus far making the right moves, and special congratulations to the top 10. So well done, fellas, and we're looking forward to see what you all have in store for us for September. Let's move down the table a little bit. And we see in here in 20th position, your boy, with our 48-point performance. Not looking too good, but not too bad right now. Just punching, throwing out our jabs and not really connecting with the power punches, but just riding the wave right now. Just riding the wave. And you know me, I'm a little scene man, so if I congratulate him, man, at the top, I'll go at the bottom here and see what's going on. Well, in 88th position, I'm seeing Dylan Mason and Carrot FC with 139 points and 56 points this game week. Starting to turn things around, I guess, with 56 points being a very respectable score this game week. So maybe he's beginning to watch the show and making some better picks. Champo FC version 2.187. Champo, don't say that you're sending your team to preview and now you're not watching the show and this is what you're doing at Champo. A little disappointed with what's going on. So Kevin Jeremiah, you need to shape up and watch the show and get them picks in line, and we're rooting for you. We're rooting for this Champo FC version 2.2. So 149 for Champo. And we're seeing Team Tonio Universal Boss with the fancy spelling. And what? Gaza Chops FC in the bottom 5. That is why Ezra was not on the show this week. But don't worry, David. Ezra personally handing out them Juxi tickets and your Manager of the Month award. So Ezra, right now, he's not giving no picks and thing because we could clearly see he ain't seen any way right now. But you know what they say about big players? They'll show up at the right time. So we're expecting Gaza Chubbs to move up the table methodically at some point in the early stages. But right now, not looking too good. But Ezra is a man, go find the way. So looking forward to the comeback from the creator of the TT FPL Pro-League. And we have Calvin Pay and Young Toes, Gaza City, which is probably affiliate of the Gaza Chubbs staple with Bull Market and Hyman FC by Jelani Hernandez rounding out the bottom side of the table here. So fellas, I wish you all the best. Hope you all start to make better picks and start to turn things around. And I do expect to see all you here at the end of next game week. Expecting some big moves. So we'll see what's going on. And also shout out to Juxi 2, which will be this weekend, Saturday the 2nd. And don't forget to get your tickets for that boat ride. It promises to be a scene, a party. So don't forget Juxi 2 this weekend. And that was your update on the race for the 10K. And finally, since you stayed for all these segments and enjoying the little vibes we providing here on Proper Things this week, this is a look at how my team performed in game week 3. The boy had a last minute cash in on his wild card like a money in the bank when the champion down, hoping to turn my fortunes around because I was playing a little football day with Salah and I wasn't really enjoying my outer phase play with my template. So I just refreshed the squad. And you could see it had a lot of points here on my bench with O'Doggy, Gusto, and Ariola, but FPL again could just be a cruel game sometimes. So at 48 point return, the midfield, Rashford, Saka, and Bueno, Son, Foden. My strikers, Holland and Jackson. And Chilwell, Ruben Diaz, and Estupinian in the back line. If it wasn't for Kyle Walker, we celebrating the Odogi points and the Ruben clean sheet. So small margins, and one play took us away from a 60-point place. So hopefully we turn things around this week. Right now I'm looking to make a little move in the midfield and bring in the boy Bowen, as I say. I'm just feeling him right now, but that move will be made on the Friday. So stay tuned to the Instagram page on FPL Ezra for the last minute news and the last minute confirmation on the team moves. So we wish everyone again a great game week 4. Hope you all enjoy the show and a prosperous score in the game week 4. So thanks again for watching the episode. We greatly appreciate all the support. Don't forget to go in the comment section and leave a comment, to like the video and subscribe. We promise more hard-hitting content next week and after the international break. So stay locked in and don't forget to do proper things in all walks of life. Thank you.